If you're a kind, caring person who is sensitive to other people's feelings, loves to inspire them, and encourage them to see the good in themselves, then there may well be times when these wonderful traits begin to work against you. Why do these people keep finding you, no matter what you do? I used to spend a lot of time asking myself that very same question. I didn't want them in my life, yet I somehow found myself with them anyway. When I was around one, I felt as if I'd been suddenly plunged into a fog where everything was confusing and unclear, and the next thing I knew, I found myself in a relationship or a situation I would have never chosen to be in. It took a lot of deep inner work to uncover the reasons for this pattern. Some of the traits that attract narcissists are: 1, being an emotional caretaker. If you're the kind of person who wants to prevent others from feeling bad, a narcissist will lap that right up. If someone tells you about a problem they're having, do you instantly try to think of ways to fix it and make it better for them? Do you take negative feelings onto yourself so that other people don't have to feel them? For example, someone puts you in an awkward situation to try to force you to do something that you really didn't want to do, and you somehow feel guilty even though you were the one who was wronged. A narcissist expects emotional catering. To them, nothing in the world is more important than their feelings. If you buy into that same idea, that their feelings must be protected and coddled at all costs, you will be aligning yourself right up with that narcissist. 2, being overly empathetic. While empathy is essential, being overly empathetic can make you a target for manipulators. You are more likely to buy into a sob story, even though a part of you may be wondering why are they telling you these personal things when you barely know each other. You're less likely to hold them accountable for their behavior because you hate the thought of making them feel bad. You're more likely to give them chance after chance because you feel too guilty about walking away. You might feel that you're all they have in the world, so you can't just leave them no matter how badly they treat you. 3, being raised by narcissists. This is a biggie. If you were raised by narcissistic parents, then on some level this behavior is familiar to you. You've been trained from babyhood to believe that only other people's needs matter and it's not your place to have your own needs met. You've been trained to tolerate other people's expectations no matter how unreasonable they are, while at the same time believing that even your most basic expectations are a massive imposition. You don't notice how self-absorbed and toxic someone's behavior is because it feels normal to you. A fish in water doesn't realize it's in water. Dealing with narcissists has become your comfort zone. 4, you can believe that you can change them. You might be a rescuer, which is also often a legacy of growing up in a home with narcissistic parents. You believe your love can save them. You focus more on the few good character traits they displayed in the beginning when they were trying to draw you in, and convinced yourself that that is who they really are. You then exhaust yourself trying to convince the narcissist that they are safe with you, that they can let their selfish walls down and be the wonderful person you've convinced yourself they are inside. Deep down, past your conditioned self, where the real you resides, you know that it's perfectly reasonable for you to have needs met in your relationship. You know it's not your job to rescue a grown adult. You probably also know that there have been times when you've been completely repulsed by their behavior. You know it's not normal, but because you've been trained not to trust your own judgment, you stuff down your inner knowing and your conditioned self takes over. Start to become consciously aware of your patterns. Notice what happens when you're with a self-absorbed person. Pay attention to any automatic urges to jump right in and start meeting their needs. Look for ways that you sympathize with sob stories. Notice how somehow you find yourself giving them their own way just because it's easier. Whatever it is, when you meet a narcissist, they will test you to see if you're a potential source of narcissistic supply. Stopping these patterns will be uncomfortable, but only at first. When you've consciously practiced your new behavior a few times, it becomes your new normal, and it takes no effort. And the next time someone tries to pull you in with a sob story or attempts to play you up as the great love of their life while having spent no time getting to know you, you'll look at them in bafflement and wonder why on earth they think there's any chance that you'd fall for that game. I'm Rinda Hall. Thanks for watching.